All right, guys, welcome to our Destiny United team call. It is August the 6th. How did I say that? Because my husband makes fun of me when I say 6th. Is that right? Did I say it right? All right. Anyway, we are chugging right along through August, guys. But I had to go back today and I had to update this leaderboard because, God, this has been the best month. July has been the best month ever. Seriously, I just have to give everybody a shout out or shout outs are due. If you're hopping on, please mute yourself. I don't know who's unmuted. Who is it? Oh, I think we got it taken care of. Thank you, whoever did that. Awesome. So guys, check out this leaderboard. 119 lives changed in July. Guys, that is our highest month to date. Like, freaking give yourself a round of applause. It is incredible. And now when you look at the board, I don't want you guys to be comparing, being like, oh my gosh, look at those leaders on the top of the board. Like, they're so amazing. There's no way that I can ever achieve those kinds of numbers. I don't want you to ever think that, because I know where I came from, and I know that over time and with consistency, I was able to reach these numbers. Kaylee, Ashley, all these amazing leaders on the team, they've been at this for years, you guys. So you will have these numbers too, I promise you, but you need to be in this for the long haul and be showing up for your business. So if you see a number 2 on the board, that means that they helped one person get started with a challenge pack and change their life. Amanda, Sarah, Kristen, Sandra, Megan, Kristen, Stephanie, Katrina, Jennifer, Christina, and Rainey. Congratulations, you guys. Olivia on the board with 4, Christina 4, Heather 4. Amazing job. You guys are so close to hitting Success Club. I know that you can do it this month. This is your month. August is your month. You can do it. On the board with a Success Club 6, Hannah, Patty Spitzer, Lara. Lara, I'm so proud of you. You are a new coach, girl, and you hit Emerald today in your business, so congratulations. Alex has 8, Lynn Ziner 10, Cassandra Murphy 16, Cassandra Wagner 22, Amanda Steele 25. Oh my God, I'm getting so emotional. Ashley Allbeck 27, Kaylee Pinto 31, myself 46. You guys, what the hell? Like, seriously, what are you drinking? I don't even know what is in this Kool-Aid, but like, oh my gosh. Think about that, 119 lives. Think about if you put 119 people in a room. How many, that's a freaking crap load of people that we are impacting. It is absolutely insane. I'm just so proud of you guys. Top recruiters, you guys are growing this business. I looked at this number, I'm like 79. Like, is that even right? Did I even do this math correctly? 79 new coaches. Absolutely amazing. I can't even read the names because my glasses aren't good enough. On the board with 1, Stephanie, Sarah, Sandra, Patty, Olivia, Natalie, Megan, Christina, Kristen, Heather, Amanda, Alex. On the board with 2, Hannah, 3, Lynn Ziner and Lara, 7, Cassandra Murphy, Amanda Steele 8, Ashley Allbeck 9, Cassandra Wagner 9, Kaylee 9, myself 16. You guys just blew freaking July out of the water. So congratulations. Can we beat 119 in August? I think we can. I'm like, game on. It is the Team Cup month. Like, I am ready to like 10x my behaviors and really make August amazing. There we go. Awesome. Okay, August leaderboard so far. Ashley, girlfriend, what in the world? Ashley is on the board with 8 Success Club points and 4 new recruits already, and it is August the 6th. Okay, like, that's That's amazing. Ashley, I'm so proud of you. Keep up the fire, keep up the momentum. I love that you set business hours, you worked things out with your husband, you figured out where you can carve time into your schedule so you can really focus on your business, and it's showing. Like, you're doing such an amazing job. So congratulations. On the board with 2 is Haley, Katrina, Michelle, Laura, Kristen, Beth, Lynn Ziner, Olivia, and myself. Top recruits, Ashley, and then Michelle won and Olivia won. So that is our August leaderboard so far. Now I got to learn how to get out of this screen. Ashley is on, and whoa, look at all these awesome people now that I turned off screen share. Yay! Okay, Ashley, we have crafted, mastermind, came up with this new thing that we're going to start doing, and we're going to have you share.
Yeah, so okay. We don't have a lot of time because we
I'm sorry, it was so much recognition.
All right. Super exciting, guys. I am so proud of everybody. Last month was amazing, and I'm really excited for this month to even be better. So let's stay focused. And one of the things that we are deciding to do is on Monday at 8 o'clock, we're going to do a blitz. Thursdays, in the very beginning of team call, we're going to do a blitz. And what do I mean by that? And by the way, Saturday, I think morning at 7:45 before coffee talk, we'll do a blitz too. So what do I mean by that? A blitz is very quick. It's 15 minutes. And it's teaching everybody what's the most important thing of our business. And that's asking other people if they want to join us, right? And so that doesn't take a lot of time. And something I realize is it really doesn't take a lot of time. It takes more time to think about it than actually do it, right? So what we're going to do is Monday, Thursday, Saturday morning, we're going to make a list of people. We're going to invite them, and it's only going to be 15 minutes. But we're going to start with a post. I'm going to share a post every time we get on here to do a blitz. You don't have to share it right now if you already have a post for tonight, but it'll be in your back pocket for when you're ready to do a transformation post, okay? So I have one for you today, but in lieu of this being quick, I'm just going to post it into Destiny United, and you guys can go ahead and share it from there, okay? So right now, though, we're just going to set the timer, and we're going to do invites. What's up?
Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, we'll do a 5-minute blitz, okay? And I'm going to put in the chat my invite. You can use it if you want, that I've been using for Muscle Burns Fat. I'm really liking it. So I'll post it in there if you would like it. There you go. Oh wait, that's just to Samantha. All right, there you go. All right, so we're gonna set the timer. And thank you, Samantha. All right, let's set the timer for 5 minutes and go.
After the 5 minutes is over, we want you to comment in the chat how many people you invited. So stay focused and go.
Yes, and go ahead and keep inviting, but I'm just going to suggest, if you don't know who you're inviting, go into your timeline, go look at all of your posts. If they're the same people that have been liking and posting, and you're like, oh my gosh, I already invited them, scroll down and find an old one, okay, one that did like really, really well, and go to that one. You know what does really well? Pregnancy post. If you had a pregnancy post, go down to that one. But find a post that has a lot of likes, comments on it. If you still don't, go to your stories. Look at all of the people who have been watching your stories. That works in Instagram or Facebook. And if you still have exhausted, then go into your followers and your friends and look down the list and find people that you have not talked to lately and invite them. Okay? Go for it.
If you're just hopping on, we're doing an invite blitz, and that was the timer.
That was the timer. All right, count them up. That was a short invite blitz. Let's see how many you can do.
I'll drop mine in the chat.
I was talking a lot, but I still did 3. Amy did 4.
Drop it in the chat. How many did you get in? I love doing these invite blitzes because we're starting to find out that we're like, oh, wow, I can actually invite way more people in 15 minutes than I thought I could if I was just laser focused on the task in front of me, right?
That's right. Look, Samantha did 7. Great job, Samantha. Megan, 4. Tammy stepped away and she still did 4. Good job.
Awesome.
Kristen, 3. Heather, 4. This is great, guys.
Amazing.
Shortest blitz ever. And look how many people got invited.
I love it.
It's great.
So awesome. All right. Thank you, Ashley. Amazing. So that is how we're going to be starting off our Monday action hours, and our Thursday team calls is with a 15-minute blitz. But we had to cut it short today because we have an incredible guest speaker on, and I am so blessed by Lauren. She actually was brave enough to join me in the Josh Coates Push to Elite training. She's like, should I, shouldn't I, should I? I'm like, yeah, you should. And she jumped in, and now we're like little like success buddies, I would say. Like, we're always checking in on each other, and you know, it's been such an incredible few weeks getting to know her. And I asked if she could do our team call tonight, and in a drop of a dime, she was like, absolutely, I'll do it for you. So how sweet is that? So I want you guys to turn on your videos if you are able to turn on your videos. I want you to put your phones down, stop inviting, stop working, and give her 100% of your attention and respect. And Lauren, come on the call, girl.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I love the way that you guys start your calls. I start mine differently. I have a really hard time getting water in during the day, so we always do a chug something at the beginning of our call because you're all beautiful, but you know you're dehydrated. So if you're lacking on water, I have a big thing, and I tend to talk a lot. So the one thing you're allowed to do while I'm talking is drink and chug, and if you need to, you know, take a break to do the bathroom or whatever, I get that. But that's like my biggest thing. So I told everybody, I'm like, my own accountability is I always chug something at the beginning of a call. So I am Super freaking pumped to talk to you guys. I know that a lot of you don't know me. Amy just said that we just met. And so I'm going to give you like my obligatory backstory with Beachbody and really kind of explain who I am and how I got started and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to kind of launch into what I think is such a great segue to what you guys just did with inviting. Because the thing that you're going to learn about me very quickly is I am someone who is balls to the wall, meaning that I run at things hard. I'm one of those people that always has really big Success Club numbers. I have very high sales compared to a lot of other coaches. And I'm going to explain why and how I kind of have accomplished that in the last couple of years. But my backstory with Beachbody, I have 3 boys. I live in Ohio. I started kind of like everybody else. I, needed to lose weight. I went to culinary school, and you'd think that you learn a lot about nutrition in culinary school, but you don't. Their motto is pretty much butter is better. And so we just cook everything in, fat and salt. So during culinary school, I gained a lot of weight, and then I got pregnant, gained more weight, big shocker. Ended up getting about 65 pounds on during my first pregnancy. And I had my son, who was 8 pounds, 7 ounces, left the hospital and lost 2 pounds by the time I'd gone to my next checkup. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Yeah, that's because I was eating so terribly, which was basically my food intake was Arby's and Arby's. That when I went back for my checkup, like they were like, this is not okay. Like we need to figure this out. So it took me about a year to get my stuff together. I was the girl that like did every quick fix you could ever imagine. If you've Googled it, I've tried it. I did the lemonade, cayenne pepper, maple syrup diet thing where that was like all you drank. I tried HCG. I looked into liposuction. I ate 500 calories a day. Like anything I could do to avoid doing actual work, that was me. And so I finally got to the point where my son was about a year old, kind of was like so horrible that exercise and eating right was my last resort, right? Anybody else do that? You're like, I'm going to do everything except eat right and exercise, which is what your doctor tells you to do in the first place. But you're like, you have a degree and you went to medical school, you don't know anything. We just totally avoid that, right? So I finally decided that I was going to work out, not eat right, because Arby's, curly fries, y'all. Like that's my weakness. I decided I was going to work out, and I illegally downloaded T25 onto a flash drive, and I did it in my basement. Would not let my husband come watch me. I was like, no, like this is my thing, go away. And so I did it in my basement and didn't change my eating, ate like complete crap the entire time. Cause again, butter is better, right? Butter is a food group. We all love it. And so I lost 12 pounds in the 3 months that I did it. And I was super, super excited about that, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a unicorn. I lost all this weight. This is so great. But I was 65 pounds overweight, and 12 pounds is great, but it's not what I needed, right? And that's right around when PIO came out, and I decided to sign up as a coach. Fun fact, I was working with another network marketing company at the time. I was a Pampered Chef consultant because I was a chef, and I thought cooking, products that about cooking, this is going to be great for me. And it really was. I like I said, I do high sales, and I did high sales in that, but I had zero passion for that business. I love their products. I have everything that they have ever made ever. But the fact that once I sold someone everything they needed for their kitchen, that I was done with that client was not okay with me. And so I found this business because I needed it for myself, and then saw the business opportunity on the back end and jumped literally face first into this and was like, okay, once I finally quit my other thing, it was about 8 months in when I was like, no, like I was actually still making money with Pampered Chef, and I'm like, this is better for me. And I left and I went all in on this business, and I have been full-time as a coach. I would say it started about a year after I was coaching. So I've been full-time for the last 5 years. So the reason I started with my story is I know that you guys all have a lot of the same stuff. I'm going to talk to you guys about the 80-20 rule, which we all preach to. How many of you preached this to one of your clients before? You're like, it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, right? If your person comes to you and they're stalled or whatever, we always preach this 80-20 rule. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how that applies to your business and how a lot of us don't think it does, but that's why a lot of people get stuck in this. Okay. So this is a specific message for people that are stuck and who are feeling like, you know, that this business can work for you, but you don't understand why it's working. You're kind of like the person that's spinning in circles and you're looking for your quick fix in the business, right? Like, how many of you guys have done that? You're like, oh, this training is going to fix everything for me. Or like this one post that I do. I mean, I remember doing that when I first signed up. I would text my coach and be like, what's the post that I need to make today? And I thought that it was like one thing that I could say to everybody that they would like fall from the sky and come and find me, right? Which not reality. And so I kind of want to walk through this with you guys and give you what your 80% needs to be. But I want to ask a couple questions first. So if you guys had a client that was stuck with their weight loss. So they start, right? They're working out, they've lost. This is me. You're gonna coach me for a second. Okay. So I come to you as a client. I've just finished T25 and I've lost 12 pounds and I'm super excited, but I'm pissed because it took me 3 months and I didn't lose more weight. Anybody had a client like that? They're like, I only lost 1 pound this week. Has anybody ever said that to you? Which I think is crazy, but I don't understand that mindset. But have you guys ever? Yes. Okay. I know we all have, because I've had people say this to me 1,000 times, and then I always do the math and I'm like, you know, that's 52 pounds in a year, right? Like if you lost 1 pound a week for a year, it's 52 pounds. And then they always go, well, it's not enough. Okay. What is the first thing you tell them to do? You're like, if you want better results, you need to change your nutrition, right? We say that all the time. We're like, you need to change your nutrition. If you have a client that comes to you and they say, I can only mentally handle one of these two things. I need to lose 10 pounds. My doctor tells me I have to, right? Again, different situation. I have to lose 10 pounds. I'm having issues with my heart or my whatever is going on. I have to pick one because I can mentally not do both exercise and nutrition. If they have to do this for their health, which one are you going to tell them to do? You're going to say, we'll skip the workouts for now. We're going to focus on our nutrition, right? We have all said this to people. When it comes to our business, for whatever reason, we don't have this same mindset. We focus on the 20%, which I like to call fluff stuff. This is what I always tell my coaches. It's the fluff stuff. We focus so much time and energy on these things that do not build our income. And I do not get this mindset. And being someone that is a runner, guys, like I can tell you right now, like, I mean, Amy just saw this in the group. I put up, I had 71 successful points last month. I'm on the board with 12 already, actually 16 by the end of tonight. I'll be on the board with 16 tonight. I have higher income, and I don't say this to brag. I'm just trying to give you guys my credentials. I have a higher income as a personally I'm a 1-star right now. I have a higher income than some 6, 7, 8 stars in this business because I have built in a smart way and I have high residual sales. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about why I do things the way that I do, because I build for income. And that doesn't mean that rank isn't effective, because if you have a business mind, the rank is super important in this business. If you look at this objectively from a business perspective, 2-star, like, will change your effing life, right? You get to franchise yourself. Do you have any idea how much my income grew as soon as I got to franchise my second business center? Like, all of a sudden I was like, you mean I can sell under here in my downline and make more money and I don't have to do anything else? Yes, sweet, sign me up. What do I need to do to get there? How do I do that again, right? I was somebody that came into this and I was like, if you can teach me how to make money, I will do literally whatever you tell me, right? Like, I'm like, I'll sell my firstborn child. Just tell me what I need to do. And so when I was looking at the business, looking at the compensation plan, which I studied religiously for months, I looked at 2 things. How am I going to make the most money quickly? And that was by setting up my downline effectively, which you guys are blessed that you have an upline that knows what they're talking about so they can help you through that process. Okay. I did not. I had to figure that out through like back-end training and you know, janky YouTube videos that I like pulled out of the confines of the depths of, you know, the internet. That's number 1. I looked at that and I looked at how can I maximize my sales, because that's something I'm really good at. Okay. So with the 80% for me and how I continue to grow, right? As it's, sorry, I'm getting off track. In my fitness and in your like health and fitness journey, that's your nutrition. In your business, that 80% is your income producing activities. which you guys literally just did a blitz of for 15 minutes, which is freaking amazing, right? This is something that I beat into my coaches. Your income producing activities are your invites, expanding your network, connecting, and following up. If I have a coach that comes to me and they say, I am stuck, Lauren, I am stuck in my business. They started off really great. This is going to sound really familiar because I just told you this. They started off really, really great. They were posting about their workouts online. They were doing stuff on social media. They put up a story and they're doing their workouts consistently and they're sharing pieces of this with, their friends, their family, their social media following. And they get somewhere. Maybe they hit Success Club a couple months. Maybe you got to Emerald. Maybe you even got to Diamond. And then you get to that point in your business where you're like, I'm really stuck. I know that I can go further. I have a higher goal, but I need to continue to move forward and I don't know where to go from here. Same thing like how I talk to you guys about your client who comes to you and they're like, I'm stuck with my weight loss. What do I do? When I have coaches that come to me, I'm like, you're focusing on the 20%. We need to focus on the 80. Because in your business, if I have a coach that comes to me and says, I need to make $200 in the next week or I'm going to lose my house, I'm not going to tell them to go post on social media. I'm just not. I'm not going to be like, this is going to fix all your problems. Go post on Instagram. No, I'm going to say, great. We're going to sit down. We're going to write some invites. Who can you follow up with? Who are we going to talk to? How are we going to recruit your next person? Who's that going to be? Because if you need this income, you need to focus on those 80% because that is what's going to change your business. Again, if I have to choose between those two things to make someone successful, the 80% is what's going to make you successful. There are people that have built network marketing businesses and never posted on social media ever. They did it face to face. I actually have a girl that I met when I first started. She didn't even have a Facebook account and she was like a 4-star diamond coach or something like that. And I'm like, how did you do this? She ran a fit club. She had every single person in her town on Shakeology. She's like, we meet and do shake and shares together and we hang out. And I'm like, well, this sounds badass. And I'm like, do you at least have a Facebook group for them? She's like, no, we're in a text thread. I'm like, what? Right? But we think that this fluff stuff, this 20% is so important that that's what's going to build our business, and it's not. Is it going to make it easier to connect with your cold market? Absolutely. Is it going to help people get to know, love, trust you? Absolutely. But the connecting on the back end and the invites that you're sending and working actively every day to expand your network, that's what's going to build your income. So if you come to your coach and you say, I really want to make this work because name your goals here. I want to take my kids to Disney. I want to retire my husband. I really want to quit my job. If you have income-based goals, which I feel like most of us do, and I know you all want to help people. I know you do. And I love the giving spirit of this business. And I think and we all know it's inevitable that if somebody signs up with these products and they use them, it's going to help them, right? But it is a business, right? It is a business. And so if you come to this and you have goals that are financially driven and you are focusing solely on this 20%, I'm not saying that you're not going to have success because you will. You'll have this much. But if you want to go to here, your 80% needs to be all of your focus. If you have a goal that you're running for, that needs to be your focus all the time. And it's going to be the same thing. And it's so hard for us to tell new coaches this because I know it's scary. And I know that they're like, I don't want to be that person that has to invite so-and-so or has to connect. And so I always bring it back to this. The reason we have the flow that we do, which starts with expanding, we go find people online, right? And we're not offended. I did this with my team. My team calls around Tuesday, and I just walked through this. We were talking about how to do our income producing activities on Instagram. And I had all these new coaches that were on, and one of them was like, well, what if I follow somebody and they don't follow me back? And she was like really, really like upset about, well, what if they don't follow me back? And what if I can't get anybody to come and follow my page? And I was like, okay. I'm like, we all do this to other people and we don't realize it. It's so funny. How many of you guys have gotten friended on Facebook by somebody that you haven't seen in 10 years and you immediately are like, no, peace out, girl. Like, I don't know who that you are, but like, we're not going to be friends, right? Like, you don't need to see my kids. Like, I'm sorry. Like, no. But you don't have any emotional connection to that person past that point, right? Like, you're like done. You're like, hit it, forget it, right? Like, I clicked the deny button and I'm gone. But we get so emotionally attached to the person on the other side of the screen when in reality, like, that's your own ego. Like, you think you're more important in that situation than you really are. because they just hit it and went off and did something else with their day, and they haven't thought about you for the last 6 weeks. And you're sitting here stewing about it, right? Same thing with that next step. So we expand first, and then we connect, which is just genuinely being a nice person, right? You're a nice human. You lead with love. You lead with kindness. We aren't judging people. And if I am reaching out and doing those connections and people don't respond to me, I hear this word ghosting a lot. I got ghosted. And I'm like, again, you're giving yourself too much credit. Because I got 3 kids and I ghost people constantly. And it's so unintentional. I cannot even tell you. Like, my kid took a crap in the tub. I'm like, sorry, I'm not texting you back. Like, I have other things going on in my life. Like, I read it and I forgot. I'm sorry, you know? So we're giving ourselves too much credit, and we get so emotionally invested with people that, again, they don't think twice about it. They really don't. They're going about their day. They're going off to do something with their family, and they're not thinking about the message you sent them on Instagram. Same thing. Let's take it a step further. Go to invites. How many of you guys have gotten an invite from somebody, a friend, family member, and you're like, no, thanks. Move on with your day, right? I got invited to a Pampered Chef party, actually. I have a girlfriend that does it for breast cancer awareness every single year, a couple weeks ago. And I was actually mad because I had ordered stuff for a wedding shower the week before. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me this a week before? I would have come. I'm like, I just ordered a bunch of stuff. Thanks so much. Don't need it. But next time, like, make sure that you invite me. I wasn't offended. I didn't like go and like TP her house or like egg her car or like slash her tires or like get super, super upset about it. I just said no thank you because I'm an adult, and I moved on with my day. So we get so worried about these income producing activities, and we take the back end of what we think might happen. Like, I saw this stand-up comedy routine, and it was like women can make up these hypothetical scenarios in their heads that are just like absolutely crazy. Like, we do this crazy, and we do it to our husbands all the time, right? Like, I mean, I love that we're all like, most of us are women, because we all like get this. You like wake up, you're like, I had a dream that you like were sleeping with another woman last night. So let's talk about that situation. And he's like, what are you talking about? You're like, hypothetically, if I died, what would you do in that situation? Like, we do these crazy ass things, right? And we think that it's like reality, and it's not. So we need to kind of step back from our ego a little bit. These income producing activities, if you want to make it in this business, this is where your focus needs to be. So yes, the social media is super important, and it's going to help grow your network. And yes, I want you to learn about Insta stories. And yes, I want you to learn about different trainings and stuff like that. However, if you are focusing on that more than 20% of your time, you are doing this backwards. Okay, you guys, until you are like a 15-star diamond and have like 87 assistants that are doing all of this shit for you, you do not have permission to stop doing the income producing activities. There are girls that are making $50,000 a month that still do invites every single day, just like you guys did at the beginning of this call. So if they're doing it and they're making enough money to like pay for my car in a week, you know, like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not at the level where I get to stop doing it. You know what I mean? And so when you're approaching your business and when you're talking to new coaches, when they come to you and they say that, you need to bring this back, because Beachbody coaches, y'all, we rock at this challenge group stuff. We rock at making like fitness so much fun, even though it sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but like, nobody wants to eat broccoli 85 times a day. And like, nobody wants to sweat so much that they can't take their sports bra off, right? Like, it just like, it seems like a great time, and like, we can make it really fun, but like, not being able to sit on the toilet is not the best part of my day after leg day, right? So when we're talking to people and we're talking to new coaches and we are focusing on our own business, that's how I gut check myself. And I get sucked in, guys. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I have not only reinvented the wheel, like, I have created a whole new shape and like tried to do everything under the sun. I've built websites, and I think I just sent this to Amy today. I'm like, look what I built on my website. I spent 6 hours on some shit that I could have like given to somebody else, and like, it would have taken them, you know, they could have done it and I could have paid them like $50. But instead I sat and like wasted 6 hours of my day like creating the perfect website. So I get it. Like, I love to distract myself with shiny new objects. I'm a systems person. So I like to invent systems, and then it's not good enough. So I reinvent the system, and then I try to switch it to a new system. And then I realize that the first system that I did was better. So I go backwards. I'm a little nuts, I have to call my mom sometimes and she's like, girl, you need to calm down. She's in the other room and I know she's like snickering to herself right now. She's like, yeah. All right. So if you are feeling stuck in your business, I need you to bring it back down and I need you to look at the things that you're actually doing. Okay. And I'm going to go back to this income for a second, because if you are income driven, which I think a lot of us are, but some people don't like to admit, we're focusing on a few things. We're focusing on how to use rank to our advantage. Number one being, if you are not at diamond, making $18 cycle bonuses, like what are you doing with your life? Because it's literally, you're giving yourself a raise for having extra discount coaches. Like I built my husband and my mom myself because I was like, you're going to give me an extra $4 if I sign 2 more people. Okay, cool. Like, let's go there. And then they told me, oh, by the way, you can franchise if you go to 2-star and we're going to give you even more money to do that. And I was like, great. What do I need to do to make that happen? Okay, cool. Like I will do that. Let me figure out how to do that. And guess what? I was one of those people that built myself to 2-star. And for whatever reason, there is so much shame, I think, associated with that in this business where they're like, you're building yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm like, honestly, I don't care. I'm like, I am in this because my family needs it. And even if I have 700 discount coaches, I don't care because they're all ordering Shakeology and I know they're all healthier for it. You know what I mean? And so I focus on a couple things. I run kick-ass challenge groups because we all do. And I know you guys all do and your upline does and everything like that. I focus on being smart with this business. The last thing I'm going to talk about is leads. Again, she was shouting out Success Club at the beginning of this, right? And I think that Success Club gets watered down by the prizes. But guys, that is not the beauty of Success Club. The beauty of Success Club is paid effing leads. Like Success Club 10 is my minimum no matter what. Why? Because they pay me to hit it. If I'm an Emerald coach hitting Success Club 10, they give me money by assigning people that are ordering Shakeology without a coach under my account. I'm sorry, what? Like you're gonna give me my commission from sales. I can sell it through my second business center, make more cycle bonuses. And you're gonna then assign me people that will order Shakeology. I had one girl order 12 bags of Shakeology one month. I kid you not, I thought it was a scam. I called like super concerned and I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? She ordered for 4 months before she canceled. And I made a ton of money off of it, right? And all I did, do you like how I sometimes bleep my swearing and sometimes I don't? I don't know why I do that. It just is like, I can't help it. My husband always says that too. He's like, it's really weird because you won't drop an F-bomb, but he's like, but then you'll say shit in the next sentence. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I think it's something that we do not put enough weight on because we're like, ooh, the fun trip, which is great. And I earn that every single year just by hitting Success Club because I want the leads. The trip comes with that. It's like icing on the cake, right? But the reason I push for Success Club and I never drop rank and I never do any of those things is for my own benefit because I make more money. I get to utilize my income and I use this business for the best thing that I know how, which is the comp plan. I have learned this comp plan inside and out. And if you guys don't know it and you haven't studied it, there are a ton of YouTube videos. Like that 20% that I was talking about, it needs to be focused on how do I utilize this business in the best way possible. Because I can tell you, I've studied other network marketing companies and how they're set up. And most of them do not let you sign your spouse. You're not allowed to. They consider it stacking and they won't let you do it. Right? The fact that we can my husband is my biggest earning coach. He makes more money than any coach in my downline. And you know what's great about it? He doesn't even know his password. Like I love him, but he doesn't know shit about Beachbody. Like he does the workouts, but like he can't even order Shakeology through his account, right? He is my biggest earning coach because I built the crap out of him at the beginning. And I figured out after I hit 10, if I can sell extra stuff through him, I'm going to make more money, y'all. Like, again, you guys kind of see my theme here. It's not necessarily that I was doing anything different. I was still doing the inviting. I was still running the challenge groups. I was just being smart. And I was looking at my next business-minded goal based on how this was structured. So if you have not figured out how this business works, and if you're new, I get it. Like, I get it. It's confusing. It's really hard to learn the legs and stuff like that. But if you've been in this business for a while and you don't know enough about it to figure out even what your next goal is, I was watching, what movie was this? I can't remember what it was called, but it was with, oh my gosh, it's brand new. I spent way too much money and rented it on Amazon. It's got Katie Holmes in it. And they were talking about things that you want. And I just remember this guy sitting, and this is what stuck with me, because I feel like no matter, like subconsciously, no matter what I'm doing, I automatically take things that I hear and bring them back. And I'm like, oh, that applies to my business. I don't know. That's just how my mind works. But he was sitting on and talking to this girl. And he was asking her what she wants for her birthday. And she was all upset because this other girl's throwing a party, right? And like, she's got all of these people that are coming. And he asks her, what is it that you want? And she goes, I don't know. And he goes, well, then how can you ask for it? And he asked that question, and we ask ourselves that all the time, right? We're like, what do we want? And we'll say things, but I don't think we really mean them, or we can't actually get past that. Like, how many of you guys have had a coach or somebody in this business be like, what are your dreams? Like, what is it that you want to achieve? And you're like, I want to hit diamond. Okay, that's great, but that's like a weird rank that like only means something to Beachbody coaches. So like, put something real behind that. Like, what do you actually want in your life? Because women are notoriously great at putting everybody else first, and we never think about ourselves. So like, what is something, not something you need. I'm not asking something you need, right? Because we do that too. Well, I don't need anything. I don't need anything else. I'm very happy in my life. I'm grateful for what I have. That's awesome. I'm super excited that you're grateful for your life. But like, what is something that you want? Because it took me, this was a really hard concept for me when I first started this. I always pulled back and I was like, well, we have, this set up for my family. We can pay our bills, and I'm so grateful for that. And I had a corporate mentor when I went to a retreat, and they sat down, and I have this actually, it's sitting, this is a really great exercise that I'll tell you guys, if you haven't done this, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. You just get a blank puzzle and you fill it with all of the different goals that you want to hit, and you frame it and you keep it on your desk. So I was having a really hard time filling this out, right? In-ground pool and a beach house. Love that beach house. Yes, yes. I'm from Michigan. I grew up on Lake Michigan, so beach house is like bucket list. Like I want, my grandparents grew up on the beach. It's totally like on my thing. But I was having such a hard time filling this out. I could not figure out like what I wanted to write down for my goals. I got to like 5, and then I was like, I think that's all of them. And I was like and I never cry. I'm like a tough chick. Okay. Like, I'm like totally no bullshit. Like it takes a lot to get me to like break down. And I was sitting there like on the verge of tears because I could not do this. And everybody else is like writing things down. Right. And so the corporate mentor was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know what else to write. I'm like, I've always struggled with goal setting, and I don't know why. And she goes, well, tell me about, do you have debt? Do you have this? And I'm like, nope, we've done that. I've been really smart with my money. Like all these things. I don't know. I'm like, I don't need anything. And she looked at me and she goes, she's like, I'm not asking you what you need, Lauren. I'm asking you what you want. And that's when it like clicked for me. And I'm like, whoa, I'm allowed to want stuff? Great. Okay. Well, that opens a whole nother can of worms. My first thing that popped into my head is I'm like, I never want to fly coach on a plane ever again. I want to be comfortable enough where I can swipe my credit card for first class tickets and not think about it. Like, that's the kind of money that I want to make. Or like when my girlfriend calls me and she's like making a joke because we've had too many margaritas, and she's like, I just really think we should go to Bora Bora sometime. Like, let's plan that trip. I want to be like, instead of laughing about it and being like, yeah, we'll do that someday, like 6 years, 60 years from now, I want to be like, cool, let's do it next week. Like, can I buy those tickets? I want to be able to do stuff like that. That's the kind of money that I want to be making, and things that I want in life. So when you start looking at your business, you need to figure out the things that you want, not only for your family, because I know we have family goals, but also for yourself. Because those are the things that are going to push you to do I have like my notes here, like you guys know what this says, but push you to do the 80% more than the 20% fluff stuff that we distract ourselves with, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I know that I talk so fast, but I would love to, at the end of these, I just try to like open it up. If you guys have questions for me, I would love to just like hear what you have to say. If you're struggling with anything, I'm going to be very honest about anything that you ask me. So that's kind of like the root of what I really wanted to talk about, was giving you guys this. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, when you are doing any of these income producing activities, we always overthink them all. Right? We think that we need to have the perfect invite, even the perfect conversation starter. Like oh my gosh, I need to know, like, how do I start a conversation with somebody? I'm like, you say hello. Like, it's just like no different than walking up, somebody on the street. Like, you just talk to them, right? But we overthink everything. So I have an anagram. That's not right. Is that how you say it? Anyway, I don't remember. My brain's farting right now. It's KISS. Have you guys heard this before? Keep it simple, stupid. Has anybody ever said that to you before? Okay, that's what I say to myself when I start getting in that mode where my brain just keeps running and running and running and running. I'm like, okay, Lauren, just kiss it. Just keep it simple, stupid. Stop overthinking things and just do it. Micah Folsom said something that I loved, and she was like, it's messy and go. You can clean it up later. And I was like, ooh, yes, girl. Like, I loved that because I'm like, I would rather you get it done because you are going to have results as long as you have action. But without action, you have nothing. Right? Like an empty inbox does not fill your bank account. It doesn't do anything for you. So if you are sitting and obsessing about what to say instead of just saying it, that's going to be your issue. Okay. So that was the last thing I wanted to leave you with. Can I be that friend that you're drinking with in Bora Bora? Hell to the yes. I'm a quality time person. Like that's like my love language, right? So like my girls, I see all these team retreats where they're like on the beach and they're like doing really cute stuff. And I'm like, I planned my team retreat for this next year. And I'm like, you guys are going to come to my house. We just built a theater. That was something that we used money for that I made. We built a theater in our basement and then a gym and an office for my husband. And I told my girls, I was like, we're just going to come to my house. I'm going to make margaritas and we're going to watch Hamilton on the big screen. So like, that's the entirety of my retreat. So I'm not putting makeup on for you people. Like, I love you, but like, you're coming to my house and you're going to sleep on the floor. Like, that's what's going to happen for our team retreat, right? So yes, you can totally come. I will definitely go to Bora Bora. So completely straight to the point. Yeah, that's kind of my MO. Okay, does anybody have questions for me? I'll shut up. I got to chug. This is how I shut myself up.
Oh my gosh, I'm cracking up over here. Freaking, you are hilarious. You can't get that hilarity through text messages, let me tell you. Like, I am freaking dying over
I voice message everybody for this exact reason.
So go ahead, unmute yourself. Ashley Allbeck probably has a million questions. Go ahead, Ashley.
Oh my gosh, you know me so well. Okay, so Lauren, thank you so much. I'm looking at your page right now. It's beautiful, by the way. So a couple questions. You said your 4 things, the 80% invites, expanding network, connect, and follow up, right? Those are the 4 things that you tell your coaches. Do you run things throughout your team to help them stay accountable, kind of like what we just did with the Blitz, but do you have your own system of helping them stay accountable to those, or
yeah. So
anything?
I think, for me, honestly, this is new. I'm not going to lie. I was somebody that was like, I'm just going to run and like, you can do whatever you want. Like, if you guys have read Josh Coates' book, which I know Amy is like in his group as well. I'm what they call a rhino, which we basically just like bust through walls and like, don't pay attention to what anybody else is doing. So that's
Lauren,
also
meet Ashley. Ashley, meet the other rhino. Lauren.
Okay. All right. Well,
So
then
I
she's
call
going to get
myself
this. You're going to get this really quickly. Cause like that was honestly, so one of the things that spoke to me is he said rhinos are really great, but they get themselves to a point and then they get stuck because they want we can't understand why everybody else isn't keeping up with us. We're like, what the are you doing? Like, I'm going here. I'm going to the moon. Like, where the hell are you? Like, if you want to I'm not even going to tell you where I'm going. I'm just going to leave and you can find me. Like, that's like our mentality, right? And I think that for me, I had to learn about leadership because what I thought leadership was and what it actually is are 2 very different things. So I struggled because I was like, just learn it on your own. So I gave resources. Like, that was like my big thing. I was like, here's this training and this training and this training and this training. And I would like shoot stuff. I'm like, I'm going to build a new coach training and you can go through this. And on the last one, I'm not going to give you one-on-one call till you finish it all. And like all this crazy complicated shit. Right? Like, built a website specifically just so I could put a new coach, like ridiculous stuff that I was like, and I'm not even kidding. This is like something that I just have come to the revelation of like within the last couple months. I took a really big step back. That KIS thing, I need to get it. The KISS, that kiss needs to get tattooed on my forehead because I overcomplicate the shit out of everything. So here's what I do with my team. And I swear to you, it is the best thing I've ever done. Number 1, I got rid of my coach training And I've talked to a lot of leaders about this, and they do not agree with it, and that's fine. And again, everybody's going to do their own thing. I needed to do this for my own sanity, because if I tweak a new coach training one more time, I'm going to shoot myself. My team page has an FAQ. Like, it literally has a unit that says frequently asked questions. What is Emerald? What is Success Club? What is Diamond? And I gave myself that. And every time I get that question about it, I'm like, go watch the video. Go watch the video. Go watch the, have you checked out the units? Like, it gives me so much more freedom, because I'm not teaching the same things over and over again. With my new coaches, I actually put a tracker up in my team page now, which I know that Amy has. You guys are doing a mastermind, right? Like, do you have a mastermind set up? No. Okay. So one of the things that I did that's been really helpful is I did an optional tracker for my team, which was basically the business activity tracker. I just did it clickable, and I put it in the unit section, and I made it optional. So when a coach came to me and they were like, Lauren, I really need to work the business, but I don't know what to do, I was like, hey, you can go use this tracker that's in our team page. Why don't you go do it for a week? And then I reward the people that get to 85% on it by doing a call. But I do not like get mad if anybody doesn't want to do it. Like, I don't get upset about it. I recognize the shit out of the people that do the work.
So do you do a call every week for anybody who did 85?
Yep. So I do a team call every Tuesday, and I've gotten away from training because I overtrain, and I've done a lot more power hours. That's why I loved what you guys are doing. I'm totally stealing it. I'm going to start doing a blitz at the beginning of every single one of my calls. Like, brilliant. I freaking love that. I have no shame, by the way. I will steal all of your stuff. So if you have great stuff, like, I will take it.
That's what I'm doing with you. Go ahead.
So with the tracker, the way that I do it is I have two things. And again, I'm a little bit, it depends where you're at in your business, right? I have a mastermind that has about 10 to 12 girls in it. To qualify, they have to have over 4 coaches. So that's like a whole separate thing. If you're more dealing with new coaches, you put it up in the group and just say, hey, this is for anybody. And then I literally make the dumbest graphic. I have my VA make a graphic that puts tiaras on their head, and they get their tracker tiara. If they hit 85%, they get shouted out in the group, and I'm like, here's your tracker tiara. Like, congratulations, you win a call with me. And then I get on and I talk to them about their specific needs that they need. I'm like, do you need help? Or like, I ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your last week? How many recruits and SC points did you have? And then how can I help you? And that's it. And on a week-to-week basis, it changes who's on the call. But if somebody comes to me and they're like, I need to be held accountable, I don't even tell them what to do anymore, because that's what I used to do. I'd be like, let me fix you. Like, let me fix you, right? Like, let me help you so much. And now I just leave it up to the tracker, and I'm like, there's a video explaining it. Go do this. And when you get stuck during that action phase, let me know, and I'll help you through that. Because I can coach through action. Like, if somebody's doing something, I can fix what they're doing. I cannot help somebody who's not doing anything. Like, if they're not sending invites, I can't fix their invites. If they're not connecting, I can't fix their connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this is really, really good. So you're saying it's more of a mentor call.
Correct. Yeah. And I got to the point where, like, in my team page, and Amy knows this because she's in it, like, I've gotten away, like, I just share a lot of recognition. And honestly, probably my weakest vital behavior is recognition. I suck at it. I'm like the worst. I forget, like, I don't do. So I outsourced that all to my virtual assistant. I was like, you need to make my leaderboards. I don't want to think about it. I was like, anytime somebody rank advances, just make their thing, like, and send it to me, because I will forget. Because I focus on my own goals, and I'm really good about that. But with my team, I'm like, I know that not everybody's at the same place as me. So I can, like, pump people up like no tomorrow, but I also get really easily frustrated with people that aren't showing up. So I had to kind of let that go. If you haven't read Josh's book and you're a rhino, like, girl, it will change your freaking life. Like, oh my gosh, it will change your life. And so that was really helpful for me to be able to let go and be like, okay, I just need to focus on having fun in my team page and just recognizing what I want more of. So, like, if I want people to invite, then I need to, like, recognize the people that are inviting, and I need to not be mad at the people that aren't. I just really need to focus on the good and, like, continue to encourage, because what happens is if you're hyping something up, like, if you're a good hype person, which if you're a rhino, you are, like, you're really great at, like, getting people excited. It's just consistency about that, and really, like, hitting things home and not continuing to change the system. Like, stick with the system you have. Don't reinvent it again. Pick one thing and do it for like 6 months. And if it isn't working in 6 months, then you shift. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Does anybody else have questions? Do you guys see me chugging water? I'm so like back on my stuff right today.
What time is it?
If no one else is going to ask questions, I will. How are you tracking, since you said you were really high Success Club points?
Mm-hmm.
Are they mostly through conversations, or are they through email, or like do you have a form? How are you having people give you their information?
All of the above. I think that I do a lot of sales on one-on-one conversation. I think that got really overwhelming for me. I also tried to find the perfect tracking system, like everything known to man, and they don't exist. So I just finally got to the point where I use a spreadsheet and it is what it is. And like, you know, if people fall through the cracks, like it's going to happen with me because, and I tell them that I'm like, if they don't, I like I'm very upfront when I talk to people. I'm like, listen, I'm never ignoring you. Just bug me until I answer. Cause I'm like, just let me know. But I would say that 90% of my sales are through a one-on-one basis where I'm like talking and like, I do conversation really, really well. Like if I get on the phone with somebody, my close rate's probably like 90%. And so I do a lot of like, when I'm talking about coaching, I get on the phone. Like I just talk to people on the phone. I voice message constantly. I've had to definitely shift more to email just because of like honestly, like I'm just going to tell you there's no perfect system. It's just, again, it's like messy and go, we'll clean it up later. That's totally my motto because I'm like, I'd rather have high Success Club points and freak out about figuring out where everybody is than not have any because I'm trying to create the perfect system. So like that's, and then I just apologize. I'm like, sorry, I suck. Like, let me fix that. Like, and I'm great with customer service and stuff. So I'll like fix it after the fact, but like, there's no like perfect thing. Trust me. I've spent so much money on like dumb tracking systems and I just keep moving all of my customers to different things and it doesn't work. So I have everybody in Flowdesk, like they get an email from me. Like if I'm like, you can always send me an email. Like I constantly put that up on my stories. I'm like, hey, just so you know, like I get 1 million messages a day, so send me an email if you need to get a hold of me.
Love it. And the leadership, you're talking about the F leadership book. That's what you're talking about, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually free on audio if you go to his website.
Yeah. And I suck at personal development too, so I listen to them in the bathtub when I'm taking baths. I like will do a whole, like half a book in a day.
I love this. I love this call. This was such an amazing call. It is 9:00 and I feel like I could sit here for like another hour. Seriously. I think you just made 20 new like best friends on this call.
Well, good.
They all love you. Any
sorry.
other questions before we let her go so she can get back to her kids?
I have questions, but I don't want to hold everybody up.
No. Go. I mean, Lauren, do you mind?
I am the least offendable person. So if anybody needs to leave, you're more than welcome. I will not be mad at you. So, but I'm happy to answer.
Mine's an easy question, I think. I'm just curious because you say you're a rhino. So like, what does that mean? Like you're basically running and you're building your mom and you're building your husband and nobody else is like running with you like that.
No. I definitely have runners. I didn't for a long time. Again, I let my ego kind of get the best of me where I was getting frustrated with people and my business. Like I built myself to, I don't know, I built myself to 2-star and then I had a 3rd diamond and like I had another one in my 2nd, but like I had people that were building. I just didn't know how to mentor people. Like I didn't have that connection, right? So I think we all go through like ebbs and flows in our business where like it's ups and downs. I mean, it just is what it is. Like we grow. I'm 28 guys and I started my business 6 years ago. I was 22. And so like part of this was just, I was young and stupid. Like I didn't know what I was doing. And so now I feel like I've kind of grown through it a lot and I'm learning new things. So I definitely have runners. I have a lot of girls that are running and like making money and stuff like that now. But I did not, I'm just going to, again, I am a very honest person. I did not give, like, I had so many coaches in my downline at one point. I think I like was upwards of like 300 personally sponsored coaches. And I couldn't tell you anything about any of them. Like the only thing that I knew about them was their first and last name because they were in my back office. And that sounds really horrible because it is. Like that's how my mind worked. And I had to shift and understand that if I wanted to get further in this business, I needed to put people first. And I really needed to set boundaries. I needed to figure out how to help them. And I needed to do so in a way where I wasn't getting upset if they weren't living up to my expectations. right? So I think for me, like my team, I would say in the last year has really started like running, and we've had girls ranking, and like we've had a ton of success starters and all of that stuff. But the reason it wasn't happening before was not their fault. It was because I was not pushing or had, like, I literally was like, you're on your own. Like, I will be here if you have questions. But other than that, like, I was not good at what I was doing, if that makes sense. So, I built mainly because I was like, well, this is stuff I can control. I'm always like a control what you can control person. And I'm like, well, I can control myself. So I will control all of these things. And I'm like, I can do high sales. So I kind of got to the point where like, I'm making really great income where I'm at, but I also know that I can make a lot more income if I can help other girls make money. So that's been our focus for the last year, is just really like, I've kind of taken a step back and I'm like, okay, we need to learn about this mentorship piece and this motivate piece and like actually get to know people and do the same stuff that I'm personally trying to grow through myself. I need to share that and do that with other people on my team. So I think it wasn't necessarily that people weren't running. It's just that I didn't know what to do with people that were, if that makes sense.
I sort of, yes. I still have a million other questions that I could pick your brain for hours. So I'm just going to stop.
Okay.
I'll just message you probably.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
And it'll get lost in all of your stuff, and then I'll
and then you just message me again, and I'll be like, oh yeah, sorry.
I'll email you probably, because that's the only way we'll actually talk to each other, because I'm just like you and things get lost.
All right. Such an amazing call. Lauren, thank you so much for doing that. I would love a quick pick if you guys could turn on your
hold on, let me turn on my light because it just got real dark.
Yeah, you're disappearing on us. You guys can turn on your video, please do so. Samantha, you're looking gorgeous tonight. You guys are all beautiful. Look at all the faces. Yay. All right, awesome. Ready, guys? And if you want to take your own picture, like, please do, because you know, if you have
a screenshot.
Oh, how do you do that?
On my computer?
Yeah, your Mac?
Yeah, Command Shift 4. And then click and drag.
Wait. Command Shift 4?
Yep. And then you'll get a little like plus sign and you just click and drag. That's how I don't pay for PicMonkey, y'all. Because I just design stuff and then I screenshot it.
Command Shift 4. Was that mine?
That was mine. You have to drag it.
I don't know what drag means.
So if you push Command Shift 4, your cursor will change into a plus sign.
It's like you're cropping it. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
your cursor.
Okay, what do I do with that little thing?
Click and drag at what you want to take a picture of.
Oh, dear Lord. How are you supposed to smile